setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
And this is Michael Lodge for the WBT. And I'm trying to get some tax information out to you so that you start thinking about preparing for your tax return for 2017 that you'll prepare in 2018. But there are so many deductions that people are not taking. And so I'm going to go over some of the unusual deductions that people don't know is there, but you should really think about doing this, okay? So the first one I'm going to talk about is weight loss treatment. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 35.9% of the adult population, of the American population, are obese. And I'm describing myself. There's things that I need to work on. And I'll be the first one to admit it. But we're obese. Americans, 35.9% of Americans are obese. So if you and I are one of those Americans and your doctor has determined that your excessive weight is a serious threat to your health, you may be able to deduct certain expenses related to getting healthy. If a doctor recommends that you enroll in a weight loss program to treat a weight-related medical condition such as obesity, hypertension, high blood pressure, you can claim its membership fees as an itemized deduction. However, your weight loss expenses must represent at least 10% of your adjusted gross income, or what they call AGI. So think about that and talk to your tax accountant and see whether or not if that is a tax deduction that you can use. If you've got something from your doctor that says, hey, you need to lose weight because you're obese, and obese is unhealthy, see if you can't take that as a tax deduction. Another one is landscaping. If you are the sole proprietor of a home-based small business, you may be able to deduct some of the landscaping expenses. The logic behind the deduction is that maintaining a vibrant lawn, perfectly trimmed hedges, and a handsomely painted fence can play an essential role in the operation of your business. To qualify for this deduction, you must meet the customers in your home and have a valid reason why quality landscaping helps you attract and retain clients. Now, I used to, when I first started my practice, I was inside my home. That's where my clients came. But then, over the years, my clients went from 300 to 3,500 almost, and there's no way that I'm going to have that many people going in and out of my office. But I could have taken out of my home, I could have taken that landscaping deduction because I had a viable business where people were coming in and out all the time. Another issue is if you guys out there are smoking, stop it. It could be a deduction for you. In an effort to help millions of Americans kick the habit, the IRS offers tax deductions for the costs associated with quitting smoking. I encourage all of you, if you're out there smoking, quit it. It's not healthy. To be clear, stop smoking aids like nicotine patches and gums are not applicable. Okay, so you can't use that. That is not a tax deduction. However, the cost of smoking, the cost of a smoking program can be deducted, provided that it represents 10% of your AGI. Seeing as such programs have been found to be among the most effective ways of beating that addiction, enrolling in one is a good idea for your physical and financial health. Again, we've got Americans are obese, and we got a lot of people out there smoking, and there are tax deductions to help you stop this addiction. Okay? Now, those of you who are moving, you have to think about this, and it's called pet relocation expenses. It's common knowledge that certain non-employer covered job relocation expenses can be claimed as itemized deductions. However, what many people may not know is that you can count pet relocation costs among your claimed expenses. Applicable fees include the cost of an airline ticket for your pets or for a door-to-door pet relocation service. So think about that. The other issue is swimming pools. If you are suffering from an ailment that causes chronic pain, such as severe arthritis, you may be able to claim the cost of getting a swimming pool on your taxes. It should be noted that a deduction for swimming pool has only been claimed in the past instances where taxpayers have been able to prove that swimming was a medically prescribed treatment. The pool was only used for therapeutic purposes and that their condition was serious enough to prevent them from regularly visiting an off-site aquatic center. Something to think about. I don't think that too many people are going to qualify for that deduction, but it's something to think about if you are using a pool just for your use, just for your therapeutic use. Classroom supplies, and this goes for teachers, okay? If you're a teacher at a K through 12 school, you probably went out of pocket more than a few times to purchase some much needed classroom supplies. If so, you definitely want to hold on to those receipts because the IRS allows select educators to claim a $250 itemized deduction for teaching materials. Gambling losses. If you had a bad run of luck at the track or at the casino, you may be able to deduct some of your gambling losses. That said, it's important to be aware of the fact that whatever you claim in gambling losses cannot exceed the amount of the money you won gambling. In other words, you can't have a loss. It has to be used, or those expenses have to be used against the winnings, and it has to just knock them all out or reduce the amount as much as possible. So those are some of the items that you can deduct, okay? And now, I'm going to say this also, is that now we're going through this tax reform thing through Congress. So what I've just told you probably may not be here the next time we talk about this. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with the Congressional Tax Reform Act. I got a gut feeling that probably nothing will, because Congress is so divided that they really don't know what they're doing. Honestly, there's no leadership in the House of Representatives, and there's no leadership in the Senate. You've got two individuals who are playing politics more than they're doing anything to get something done. In fact, they really haven't gotten anything done. Everything that the American people have asked for when it comes to health repeal and when it comes to tax reform, I doubt very much will get done. And by the way, if you listen to them right now, what they're talking about are tax cuts. In other words, reducing the tax rates. Well, that's not tax reform. It's just not. Tax reform is when you take a look at the tax code and you start eliminating the 7,400 pages of tax code. There's too much. So we've got to get the Congress and the Senate to really do tax reform, and that means looking at all of these deductions and everything else and reducing it down. I mean, if you take a look at this, if you take a look at this, back in the 1960s, we only had like 15,000 some odd tax codes. Now we have tax pages, 15,000 some odd tax pages. Now we have over 74,000 tax pages of IRS code. So, with all this being said before and all these deductions, a lot of this is probably going to go away. So, 2017 may be the final year that you can take some of this stuff, unless they begin phasing out over time. And honestly, they haven't told us what they're going to do, how they're going to approach it. So that's it for today. And that's basically, unless we know what Congress is going to do on reforming the tax code and changing the deductions and everything, we really don't know what's going to happen. But we know what the law states now. So if you can use those deductions for this year, think about it and talk to your tax practitioner and see whether or not, if you cannot take some of these deductions. If your doctor has said you're obese and you need to go onto a program, there you go. Okay, that's it for today. If you have any questions, just send me an email at mlodge, M-L-O-D-G-E, at lodge-co.com, and I will respond to your question. Send it to me, and I'll answer it. Have a great day.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.